Present. The morning sun gently lifted the veil of mist, casting its golden rays over the winding village paths. Confucius and his disciples were on their way, the crisp, refreshing air of the morning filling their lungs, among the serene beauty of the landscape. However, a quiet unease loomed. Zilu, one of Confucius' most devoted students, walked with his head bowed, his shoulders heavy as if bearing the weight of countless worries. Confucius, a teacher known for his compassion and insight, noticed the cloud of anxiety hanging over his student. He paused his steps, turning back with a gaze that seemed to peer straight into Zilu's soul. "Zilu," he said, his voice calm but probing, "why do you carry such sorrow? Surely, your mind is not here, amidst this beautiful scene, but wandering far away. Tell me, what troubles you so deeply?" Zilu, startled, hesitated before lowering his head further. After a moment of silence, he replied, his voice barely above a whisper, "Master, I feel restless all the time. My past is filled with mistakes, and whenever I think of them, regret overwhelms me. But the future frightens me even more. I fear I will continue to fail, that I will not achieve what I desire. My mind is caught between these two places, and I do not know how to free myself." Confucius listened intently, his serene expression unchanged. After a thoughtful pause, he smiled gently. "Come with me," he said. "Today, I will show you something." He led the group to the bank of a small, winding river. The water, crystal clear, flowed gently over smooth stones, its serene current accompanied by the soothing sound of nature. Confucius stood by the riverbank, gesturing to the flowing water. "Zilu, look at this river. What do you see?" Zilu, confused by the question, glanced at the water and answered, "I see a clear and gentle stream, flowing peacefully." Confucius nodded, his eyes filled with quiet understanding. "Indeed, the water flows continuously, passing over stones and bends in its path. But tell me, does it carry the past with it? Does it try to hold on to what lies ahead?" Zilu gazed at the stream, reflecting on his teacher's words. After a moment, he shook his head. "No, Master. The river simply flows. It does not cling to the past or grasp at the future." Confucius' smile widened. "Exactly. The river teaches us an important lesson. It does not concern itself with the bends it has passed, nor does it worry about the obstacles it has yet to meet. It exists fully in the moment, flowing freely and completely in the present. We, too, should learn to live like the river. The past, no matter how deeply we regret it, is like water that has already flowed away. The future, no matter how much we fear it, is like water that has not yet reached us. The only thing we truly possess is this moment, the present." Zilu stood in silence, his mind turning over his master's words. But Confucius wasn't finished yet. He reached down, picked up a small stone, and tossed it into the river. The stone sank, creating ripples that spread outward. Confucius turned back to Zilu and asked, "Do you see the stone I just threw? Can you retrieve it from the river?" Zilu shook his head, his expression thoughtful. "No, Master. Once the stone has sunk, it belongs to the past. Confucius nodded, his voice slow and deliberate. That is correct. The past is like this stone, it has fallen and cannot be changed. To dwell on it, to burden yourself with regret, is like diving into the river to search for it. You will only exhaust yourself in vain. Instead, learn from those mistakes. Let them serve as lessons, not weights. That is how you free yourself from their grip. Confucius bent down again, this time scooping up a handful of water. He let the water flow through his fingers and asked another question. And this water, what if you tried to hold on to it? Could you keep it in your hands? Zilla watched as the water slipped effortlessly through Confucius' fingers. He shook his head, now sensing the wisdom in his master's every word. No, master, the water would escape, no matter how tightly I tried to hold it. Confucius smiled warmly, his eyes filled with kindness. Precisely. The future is like this water, always flowing forward. You cannot grasp it, nor can you predict every twist and turn it will take. But if you let fear consume you, you will miss the cool, refreshing touch of the water in your hands, the beauty of the present moment. Remember, the present is all you truly have. Embrace it, and you will find peace. Zilla felt as though a great burden had been lifted from his heart. He knelt by the riverbank, gazing at the flowing water with newfound clarity. He bowed deeply to his teacher, his voice trembling with emotion. Master, I understand now. All this time, I have been lost in regret over things I cannot change and fear of things I cannot control. I have wasted the present without even realizing it. From this moment on, I will learn to live fully in the here and now. Confucius rested a hand on Zilu's shoulder, his smile as gentle as the morning sun. Remember this, Zilu, the past is a lesson. The future is a hope. But the present is a gift. Only when you live fully in this moment will you truly understand the meaning of life. Zilu looked back at the river. The water continued to flow, steady and serene, as if carrying away his doubts and fears. Rising to his feet, he followed Confucius with a lighter heart, his steps no longer weighed down by the burdens of time. From that day on, the lesson of the river transformed not only Zilu but all who heard it. They learned to slow down, to breathe deeply, to treasure every step they took. The story of Confucius and the flowing river was passed down through generations. A timeless reminder to let the past drift away, to let the future arrive in its own time, and to cherish the gift of the present moment.